Welcome back to Practical and Positive Leadership. I'm May-Dunn, CEO of Arizona Escrow and Financial. And each month we bring you actionable insights from leaders who've been right where you are. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, follow, and check out past episodes for can't miss leadership insights from top professionals. Our guest today, Marc Saries, is the president of Partner Systems, where he works closely with organizations to achieve technology-driven goals to improve operational performance, leadership, alignment, and long-term business growth. Marc, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Marc, you're often brought in when something isn't working or needs to scale. When it comes to IT challenges, what do those moments tend to reveal about leaderships, the teams that are in operating?
Yeah, that's a great question, Monica. I've been working with businesses for well over 20 years of various sizes. And one of the things that, we've really learned is that historically, IT has been treated as just as simply a cost center, right? It's one of the tools and things we need to do to help us do our business. And when you have that mindset, what often happens in the way leadership approaches how they leverage technology, it's typically from a very reactive approach. So they, when something breaks, they're just waiting for something to fail and then they react to it. And that's a very, that's a very delicate situation to be in. So I think one of the things that we really try to encourage leaders to do within their organization is understand that, IT just isn't something that helps you do your business, it's how you do your business. And when something goes wrong, that's a very eye-opening experience for leadership. When your network goes down, you're unable to communicate with your customers, you can't get product out the door, you can't pay invoices, you can't get paid. There's a lot of things that, it impacts it across all levels. So I think it really is important for leadership to understand how significantly and how intertwined technology is to their business as a whole. And when you have that mindset, you need to take a much more proactive and forward-thinking approach to how you leverage that technology and how you manage that technology. And so it's really important for businesses to take a very serious approach to how those systems are maintained, how they are protected from a cybersecurity standpoint. It really takes it from a very reactive approach to a much more proactive, forward-thinking approach.
That's what I was good. You took the words right out of my mouth about proactive.
Yeah.
Because it always seems like if you stay on top of all the updates and keep your equipment, not just buying new equipment, but just keeping it all updated, and then you shouldn't have these kind of things. But when things go down, it's bad.
Yeah, and technology breaks.
Yeah,
I know.
Everybody
who has a cell phone or works with a laptop understands that those things do fail, from time to time. That's just the reality of technology. The goal is to do the work up front to minimize that. Not only minimize how often things fail, but minimize the impact when they do. And that's really where leadership comes into play.
Yeah, because when it goes down, you can't do anything. It's one thing we don't realize how much we rely on the technology.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's always new technology, always something new.
Yeah.
And it's so important for, I guess, the training as well with with the teammates that I had on, what to do, what not to do, and, alerting IT if you have any suspicion that something doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology and process go hand in hand, right? So the processes within an organization are built in such a way they kind of evolve over time. And then when you're trying to implement technologies to support that process, those two always don't mesh. And so it's important to understand, okay, how are your employees doing their jobs every day? And if we're implementing a piece of technology, how is that going to impact what they do? Humans don't like change. So it's really managing that process as well and helping your employees to adapt and to maybe rethink how they do their jobs can go a long way in ensuring that you're getting the most out of that technology investment, that it's being used in the right way. You can apply technology all day long, but if you're not looking at the process of how you do business, those things can butt heads
Yes.
often.
And using their time as most efficiently.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
what we want.
Yeah.
At
We
the end
want
of the day.
technology. Yeah. We want technology to improve efficiency,
Yes.
not, detract from it.
A lot of business plans rely heavily on systems and processes actually working. Where do you see the biggest disconnect between what leaders expect and from their systems and what actually happens, or the reality of what happens?
Yeah, that is a great question. And I think where we see this the most is, many businesses that we work with, they start out small. Maybe they're a sole operator, maybe they have a small staff, and they have systems in place that make sense for where they are at the time. And maybe that business grows and it can grow rapidly. And so with that, the processes and the things that you're using that you're doing to run your business change. And so what you want to make sure is that the technology is evolving as your business evolves. And so where we see the biggest disconnect is organizations that have really outgrown the systems that they put in place when they were smaller. And they fail to recognize, okay, we need to increase efficiencies here so that we can properly scale. And that's really an important exercise to work through, is making sure that, again, you're aligning your technology with your business as it grows.
Right. And it's also an investment.
It is.
And
Yeah.
business owners need to know that they need to invest in the technology.
Yeah.
And it's the advancements always changing.
It is.
I know with ours, it's just like, okay, we need to add this.
Yeah.
And it's a level of protection as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because as those cyber hackers get better, we have to keep adding more things to our systems.
Yeah, and it's really important to do that on a regular basis. So like I said, if you have a team that you're working with, whether it's your internal IT staff, your IT infrastructure, or a third party, it's important to do just have regular evaluations of where you are from a technology standpoint. How is our hardware infrastructure aging? When do we need to plan in refreshes? Where do we need to build in redundancies? Because we have a key component, a key piece of technology that we absolutely have to run. So, for example, in a manufacturing firm, for example, we have manufacturing clients that run 24/7, and when those systems go down, money stops flowing, and it becomes a very serious issue very quickly. So you need to regularly evaluate, okay, are my technology investments there to support my business when it needs it? You need to make those investments when it is time.
Absolutely. What's one thing leaders could do earlier that would prevent those gaps?
I think just the proper planning.
Do you have like every 6 months, an annual, quarterly, to maybe review the system?
It depends on the business.
Okay.
So obviously, when I say regular, I mean obviously an annual process of evaluating where we are from an IT infrastructure standpoint is important to do. However, it's also important to evaluate as your business changes. So maybe you're developing a new product line, or maybe you're going into a new vertical market that you're trying to explore from a sales standpoint, and you want to put some things in place to ensure that is going to be successful. Evaluating, okay, how does the technology get us there? Do that evaluation as before that process actually is implemented, rather than implementing a process and then realizing we don't have the systems to support that, right? So it's again being out in front, and that just being out in front of things it goes a long way.
Yeah, I can imagine. How do you help leaders identify the real issues versus just treating a symptom?
A lot of what we do is education. Helping the business understand, where they need to invest their money, and like I said, business owners, they have their pulse on the organization, so they understand hopefully the process itself, and they understand how technology applies, but they don't necessarily understand the behind the scenes IT infrastructure and on top of that, the protections that you need to put in place to do it. So thinking through things like cybersecurity and what are the protections we need to put in place, going up beyond just your traditional antivirus, that kind of thing.
Right.
We need to make sure that we're protecting our environment. So it's educating them on what the dangers are, where and how you can prevent those kind of things. Educating them on helping them to understand how you can respond in the event of a catastrophic failure, right? Do you have proper business continuity processes and things in place to make sure that you can recover when something goes wrong? And then also making sure that you're investing properly in your technology to, again, minimize downtime and to minimize the impact on the business.
Plus, I feel like educating the staff on email spoofing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Don't open the email if you don't know who.
One of the things we do as kind of a regular service that we offer for our clients is we actually do what we call phishing simulations.
Yes.
Right. So targeted phishing has become it's just an awful issue that businesses have to deal with, and those attacks are becoming more sophisticated, especially as we see AI come into play, right? So the amount of research that a bad actor is going to do on an organization would be kind of surprising for a lot of business owners. They know who, especially all they have to do is do the research on LinkedIn. Who's your controller? Who is your VP of sales? And they'll target those individuals very directly. And so, we try to make sure that we're training employees, and we do phishing simulations. We'll actually send out targeted fake phishing emails. And then when an employee clicks on it, we're like, hey, just FYI, this is fake, and this is why, right? So it's a lot of that process is education.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because some of them look so real.
Oh, they do.
And it's like,
yeah.
And then I've had that happen where I haven't opened it and I've deleted it, and then they've emailed me. I'm like, well, it was a secure email. I wasn't expecting it,
right.
So I didn't open it. And it's all about communication, and they understood why I didn't open it because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. We often say an employee with the mouse in their hand is the biggest threat to your network.
Yeah.
Right. So clicking on something stupid can be very dangerous. And it's not that the employees are stupid. It's just that it's hard. I mean, I do this business every day. I receive emails sometimes, and I look at it and I'm like, is that legit or is it not? And you really don't know. So I have to go back and, do things like look at the email headers and things like that. So I know how to watch for those things, and I'm very skeptical. And I think that is very important too. Building in skepticism into your employees sounds strange, but that's a very effective tool.
Yes, it does help. Marc, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Can you share more about your service and how people can get in touch with you?
Sure. We are what's called a managed service provider. So we are essentially an outsourced fractional IT department for small to mid-sized organizations. So like I said before, we really help businesses implement a lot of those protections, a lot of the support that larger organizations have, but on a scale that makes sense for their organization. And so if a company out there is really wanting to take a second look at their IT infrastructure or maybe want to make a change, they can reach out to us. Our website is partnersystems.com, and that's where you can find out how to contact us, and we offer a free consultation.
That's amazing. And you're on LinkedIn?
We're on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn, so you can see, I have various videos and posts on there as well.
And to our listeners, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us bring more practical insights into real-world leadership. Until next time, stay positive, stay practical, and keep leading with purpose. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe and click on the bell to be notified every month when a new episode is posted. Then leave a comment on what resonated with you the most, and watch another one of our practical and positive videos.